Singapore Prime Minister Loong has stressed the need for the country's political leaders and civil servants to retain mutual trust even as the country sees a transition of political leadership over the next few years. Mr. Lee said the public service needs to be neutral, yet share the values and priorities of the elected government.
He was speaking to over 900 leaders and officers from the sector at an annual event this evening. Cheryl Goh has more.
Singapore is able to look beyond the short term to target longer term issues like climate change with the confidence to carry through its plans because it has an effective public service that's supported by the political climate and leaders. This is according to Prime Minister Hsien, who noted that the Republic has built up a stable and well-functioning system. Speaking at the Public Service Leadership Dinner, he said the ties between political leadership and non-political public service are crucial but delicate. Citing how a divided relationship between the two has not produced happy results in countries like the UK, Mr. Lee said public service leaders in Singapore must remain neutral yet aligned with the elected government, which is set to undergo a transition in the next few years. He added that the fourth generation leaders will work in a different style, one which focuses on co-creating policies with Singaporeans.
One thing cannot change: the fundamental alignment, the close working relationship, and the mutual trust between ministers and civil servants. I am confident that the 4G political leaders and the public service leadership, particularly at senior levels, share the same fundamental values, which include meritocracy, clean government, multiracialism, inclusive development, and economic growth, amongst others. And also the conviction that an outstanding government is a vital differentiator for Singapore and that Singapore has to be exceptional to thrive. I hope these values will endure beyond the next political generation and continue to be upheld by successive generations of political leaders in Singapore.
Mr. Lee also spoke about the need for public service leadership to be more diverse in terms of experiences, temperaments and mindsets. He said it should give weight to unique backgrounds during recruitment. Mr. Lee also called on leaders to make the sector more permeable by encouraging staff to move across various public service schemes and programs, and even between the public and private sectors at the mid-career level.
But we have not been very successful in mid-career recruitment. This is not for the lack of trying, but often it fails to work out because the gulf in culture and mission between the private and public sectors is just too deep. It's not easy at all for someone to join the public sector mid-career, because when they first come in, they will almost by definition lack the knowledge and instincts that take many years to build. But it is precisely this freshness of perspective that makes mid-career entrance valuable to us.
The event was the first time all public service leaders, including administrative officers, were brought together.